We're going to go over yesterday's footage. I wasn't there for this, and when I grabbed it today, there wasn't a whole lot of it. So, might be a quick stream, but that's all good. So, let's get started. Luke is stalking Maximus. We have Andre back on the stream. Love to see it. Getting in around with Mitchell. Mitchell with the overhook. Luke looked like he was threatening a straight ankle there. Ben and David. Ben with the quick go behind. Did Mike quit? He quit jiu-jitsu completely. He cut all ties with the sport, including the stream. Nah, Mike's a busy boy. So Max, I would say, smartly pulling into close guard against Luke. Not that Luke doesn't know how to handle that, but Max might not know how to handle Luke. What's up with Ben and David here? So we got Ben looking to work from the side. He's got that side body lock. David with a quick roll through. Turtles back up, and Ben was on a front headlock-ish position. And David opts to roll to a guard. Got Andre giving Mitchell a big old hug. Looks like he got back up from there. Frames him, creates some space, looking under the clock here. That 2-on-1 is going to make it pretty difficult for Mitchell to establish a good upper body connection. I like doing that, like just holding the wrist with two hands, making people realize they don't have many options from there, or at least not many jiu-jitsu guys. Maybe some wrestlers have some tricks up their sleeves there, but can I get him down? Gets behind him. Looks like Mitchell opts to sit. Max putting his guard to work. A little hip switch from Luke, and he settles into top side control. And snaps on a quick Darce. I didn't even see the setup. Yeah, so Max is just leaving his elbow out a little too much here. So framing Luke's shoulder line, great. Good thing to do. You know, shrimp your hips out like he does there. But now as he tries to heist up, you'll see him switch his hips. Like he's trying to get up now. He's getting to a knee. This is where Luke says you're leaving this arm out here a little bit too long. So he grabs under the arm all the way through to the neck. Keeps everything nice and tight there. Throws on a Darce strangle. Starts crunching in. How you doing, Joshua? Good to see you on the stream for once in your life. Every time you're not here, everybody's like, where's the Wear hot tub? Don't lie to me. Andre on the back now. He's got two hooks in. Moving now up. Just to the high ball ride. Kind of a little crossbody action there. He's got Mitchell's left hip, and he's got the underhook on the right arm. I had Luke there earlier today, and I was so pissed. I couldn't move enough to put the position to good use. Got Andrew. Looks like looking for maybe looking to get to the back on Ronnie. There he goes. This was yesterday. But I don't know if we just captured like half a class or if it like petered out. I don't know if the camera got started a little too late or what. So we only have, I think, 4 or 5 rounds. A lot going on, a lot of possible subs here all at once. Yeah, literally, there's just a button that's like start manual recording. It's pretty straightforward. All right, let's look at this. So we'll look at Andre here on Mitchell. So he's attacking that forearm, but then he makes a switch here to attack the left arm. The master rage baiter, dude. So Mitchell pops the head through. This is where, Andre, I'd like to see this leg go over top of the shoulder. So it will come underneath this armpit, but then the heel will go into the neck to that like 3/4 armbar position, we call it. Good recovery with the cross face leg. Nice finish on the armbar. Meanwhile, we got Ben making the roll to the back. Just a little misaligned. Like, I think if he had continued to roll to his left, so chair sit, and then you got to roll this way. Might be a little bit more difficult if David is really digging into the ground. David kind of has a little bit of a say in where that ends up. And Andrew going on for his own armbar here against Ronnie. So he's got a 3/4 armbar setup. You could see his leg coming through here. Gets the arm isolated. I think Ronnie taps here. She typically doesn't wait around too long with an isolated arm. Yeah, James, did your daughter win her soccer game? Was it worth skipping class? Got to. No reason not to. Right. Mitchell and Andrew. Dylon joining with David. Andre and Luke. Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome, James. Veronica, you can thank Josh in person for that comment very soon. Oh, Mitchell. Look at Mitchell sitting in on a heel hook here. Catching Andrew. So Andrew playing from bottom half. Mitchell sits back on this heel, throws in a big heavy reap. So now it's going to be hard for Andrew to hide his heel. And before he can, Mitchell goes to it. His wrist looks like it's in a good position. He's got Andrew's heel right on top of like the wristwatch area. Got his grip. Andrew gives him the tappy tap. Very nice. Love it. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Coach Dylan Cole. Is that what you're calling him? David trying to hit the slide by. Andre over there locking up close guard on Luke. I get it, Cole. That was really good. Dylan got 2 arms, more of a wrap on the torso. Not working from the front headlock. Beats David's arm for the go behind. Like he was driving the knee in. I want to see, so it's going to be difficult. You can see him really trying to get the knee in, but driving it in that direction, either across the body or like up under the arm, is going to be difficult. You're really working against bigger muscle groups like the lat. What you really want to do is, let's take this leg off. We don't want to swing that leg over, and we want to drive the right knee in towards the hip, so kind of backwards. It's easier to explain in person, but the plane that's formed between the arm and the knee, that's where you're trying to shove your own knee into. And it's easier to do that in plane with that plane. If that makes no sense, that's okay. Ask me in person about it. But that's going to be a lot easier than trying to dig the knee in or get your foot in when you're kind of halfway attached and you don't really have the hip mobility that you want. That's a big shirt, dude. Is that oversized? What's going on with Luke and Andre? Just playing a little close guard game. Andre opens up. Andrew on a revenge tour right now against Mitchell. I don't know what Andrew locks up here. Maybe a triangle, mounted triangle. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Dylan really trying to get to work from north-south. See if David turns him over. Space is getting a little narrow. Ben choosing to stand against Max. I like it. We got John over there working close guard with Ronnie. Max on the shot. He goes low single, head outside. So we've talked about it a little bit recently. John actually brought this up in chat a few weeks ago, but this is a good distance and almost a good execution of a John Smith low single. The only difference is with a proper John Smith, and maybe Max was going for it, and I'm kind of seeing Ben pummel Max's head to the outside. With the low single of that style, your head is going to be on the inside at the knee, and it's going to push out at the knee while you hold the ankle, and that kind of breaks the leg down. Here, Max kind of ends up in front of the leg. His shoulder is into the knee, so he could conceivably still break that leg down by driving his shoulder across the knee and either keeping the ankle where it is or pulling it. But I don't know. I don't think this lends itself to a good follow-up, or a good scramble for Max. If Ben ditched this body lock grip and instead just stepped over with his right leg and kind of bared down a little bit, he could potentially get Max in a rear mount with an arm trapped. So Max has to be very careful here. Big sprawl from Ben. Andrew on the heel hook. Now inside heel hook. Mitchell's hiding it. Run a little inside, or a little double leg interference. Max is really trying to run down that double now. He's switched to the double. See if he could cut Ben this way with his head. Run it down. There we go. Very nice. Good enough. David with the counter, it looks like. No, okay. Just holding the guillotine. Makes his way back to mount. Now Andrew on an outside heel hook. Here. Yeah, Mitchell a little too slow on the turn, I think. Or Andrew was able to slow him down, maybe. Oh, Max on the back. Gets the strangle. Just about. Ben fighting it off, though. What's going on with Andrew and Mitchell? Mitchell goes... tries to roll through. Here's the thing. Let's see. We'll think about this. So, for Mitchell to roll through on this, he needs to have some connection first, right? He's got to get... It almost looks like he's thinking, like, this is fine. Like, this is how you typically see people rolling for an Imanari. But is he just a little too slow on it? Or, I'm trying to think, Imanari you would roll. Yeah. He's basically got the right idea. But Andrew slinks away. Mitchell's also sending his head really far outside. He would want Andrew to be in the same stance, but right here. Like, he would want that foot, I think, right there for this to end up in an Imanari roll. I think Mitchell probably thinks that move looks really cool and wanted to hit it. It does look really cool. So I don't blame him. Andrew onto the armbar. Mitchell, thought he was going to get out of that. Does Max get the strangle here? Maybe? Let's go back. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty clean entrance for Max. And then I don't know if they just run out of time here, or because Max is kind of falling off. He's losing the alignment that he needs. Maybe he was over the face and Ben was like, I'm good. Sorry. And then Andre in Luke's close guard, trying to work a standing guard break over here at the edge of the screen. But they run out the clock. All right. Snap from Luke. Right back into the collar tie. Just weighing down on David. Max sits against Andre. What the hell is Mitchell doing? Mitchell's just army crawling. Bullying David to the mat. Gets a kind of a snap down and then is able to just put pressure and basically stiff arm David's head down. This is, I mean, the solution to this is just movement. Like, bat the arm off your head and get out of here. Meanwhile, it looks like Andre looking for a knee cut, but he kind of stalls here. Keeps the knee in the middle as Max tries to lock up a close guard. All right, now he sneaks through into top half guard. Luke gets the leg trap onto the strangle over the face, maybe? Yeah. Clean. So Andre is in a unique position here. Not unique, but a good one. So he's kind of in a, he's not in closed guard, right? Because Max doesn't have his legs locked up around the back. He's kind of stacking against this butterfly hook. And I am not very well versed in this style of passing, but I know it's kind of hot right now. If you follow, like, you know, B Team, Joseph Chen, I think Craig Jones just released an instructional about high or higher tripod passing, I think as he calls it, to dig on his training partner Joseph. But it's this position where you plant your head. As far as I can tell, you plant your head, you get your hips up really high, so your base is, you know, you're 2 feet on the ground, your elbows on the ground here, and your head, and you're looking to, shouldn't say you're 2 feet on the ground. You're looking to leg pummel and get past the position with your base of support being that like kind of forehead on the ground and your elbows flared out a little bit. Again, not my style of passing, so I don't know a whole hell of a lot about it yet. But Andre could get to work from here. There, he's really good use of the knee, pressuring it in. It looks like he could start to settle in. Maybe already he's back to half guard. Thought he could settle into mount from there, but he hadn't quite passed Max's right leg, I believe. Nice little setup from Luke. Does he chase it down? Yes, he does. So let's look at this. I think we talked about this earlier. So I mentioned that double wrist grip from standing, where it really kind of makes it difficult for your opponent to set up some of the more common stand-up strategies and tactics, like arm drags. You can't, you know, typically you can't arm drag with one arm. The collar tie, you can collar tie somebody with your free arm, but what are you going to do? At best, you're going to hang your weight on their head, but you really need to be concerned about what Luke's about to do. What else? It's hard to foot sweep from here when you have one arm under control, because you can't get the off balance you need. You can't push and pull to get your setup. You're not going to take a shot, typically, again, unless you're like an awesome wrestler, which none of us are. So you could see David doesn't really have too much to work with from here. So Luke takes this as an opportunity to cut his angle. He's getting real low. You could almost tell he's setting up for the shot here. And then he immediately ditches the grip, goes 2-on-1 on the leg. David turns. Luke gets his shoulder into the knee and starts to chase it down at the hips. Andre settling into mount now. Yeah, try it, Josh. I really, like, I firmly believe in that. The first person I ever did that to, where I was like, I think, actually, it's not the first person, but I remember doing this very effectively and being surprised by it to Ronnie's son back when he trained with us. I just grabbed his wrist and he's like, I don't even know what to do right now. And I'm like, I don't either. Let me figure this out. And I just ended up being it ended up being a really useful grip. Was that same side ankle? Yes. Yes, it was the way Luke did it. I don't think it has to be. It all depends on your setup. Like Luke could shoot here, and if David is expecting this and he sprawls that left ankle back in time, well, then Luke just shoots on this ankle. There's no rule that you have to grab the same side ankle. You just use it as an entrance for the legs, or, you know, a setup for your shot, I should say. It's also kind of an easy way to break somebody's posture down, like just hanging all of your weight on that one arm. If they don't strip the grips off, you know, you'll get them to start hinging at the hips and breaking down the posture, which leaves them open to, you know, front headlocks and stuff like that. Andre making his way to Max's back now. Got his elbow to the point of the chin. Got a mandible strangle in the making here. Let's see if he could get to the grip he wants. Max is really turning into this, but I think as we know, that's typically not a method of prevention. There we go. Especially if they have a bad left bicep. Capital, especially if they have a bad left bicep. And like when that kind of person goes to sprawl, the big baggy shirts they wear, like it'll slow their sprawl down. It's like a parachute, so they can't lower their level as quickly. All right, big old reaping leg here from Andre. So hope y'all are being careful with that. I mean, we look here. This is great single leg ashi, or single leg X, Rimi ashi, whatever. But that kind of pressure, that's a reap, right? Very heavy reap. Just want to be careful with our training partners, especially the white belts, if you're doing that. Looks like he's looking for straight ankle action here. The flying squirrel is actually a move used in wrestling that I'm far too scared to try to do. I'm probably too old to do, but I'll take that as a compliment. What's up, Sean? How you doing, buddy? Yeah. Also, yes, the Walls of Jericho. Andre got himself a nice little triangle here. Let's see if he can finish this. Max is trying to execute a decent escape, and I'll say he almost gets it. I think Andre loosens up here at the end. Let's see this entrance. So using the collar tie, he's got Max's arm extended. So I feel like he's thinking about it. Yep, he gets the arm away from the body, shoots that leg nice and high over the shoulder. And I like Max's response. Rather than stacking, he goes to sit to his butt and is trying to get his ankles crossed over the chest. He even does it in the right order. He does it the opposite leg of whatever arm is in the triangle. He does that leg first. Andre's trying to shut it down because I think Andre knows this escape as well. Very nice. That was good execution, Max, of the escape attempt. All right, so we're gonna focus on Max and David here under the chat. I think this group is just talking here, going over some technique. Yeah, Sean, it's actually a really, really great triangle escape. Go back to it real quick. Just early on, we could kind of see what's going on. The key here, there are two ways that I've seen it done. I think this way is like, it should be your plan A, where the other piece you need is Max would have to bring his right leg over and cross it over top of this ankle. And then once your ankles are crossed, you straighten your legs out and straighten your back out. And the whole point is to put, rearward pressure on your opponent's crossed ankles. Or even not just their crossed ankles, but their triangle as well. And it's just kind of heavy static backwards pressure to eventually break the grip up, but kind of loosen this space. If you're caught up here, kind of loosen up a bit, get your neck safe, and then just that constant backward pressure to pop their legs open. Rearward, sure, you could say that as well. Good job, Josh. I see you've been reading your thesaurus. Proud of you. The other way you can do this, if you can't quite cross your legs over, is feet in the armpits and use that for your extension. Why that versus just posture up? So if you're in an early triangle, like they maybe their ankles are crossed and they're just trying to break your posture down, go ahead and posture up. That's Nothing wrong with that. If you're in a late stage triangle, like they've locked your arms, maybe crossed over, you can't hide it anymore, or they've actually locked up the figure four with their legs, this is what I would go to. Mainly because posturing up is kind of impossible or extremely difficult from this point in a late stage triangle. And standing and stacking just gives them an opportunity to cut the angle that they need. If they're good with triangles, cut the angle and get to an even tighter triangle. So that's why you would see this. You'll only see me do something like this if I feel like I'm if I'm very close to tapping. I hope that answers your question. Play around with it though. It's surprisingly powerful, as awkward as it looks. Did I say it? I just spit, dude. I flow right off the dome. That's the number one. That's the number one, Sean. Just don't get caught. Big props to Max. He's active this Saturday. Really getting off the screen here. Let's see. Max with the go behind. We're going to zoom through this one a little bit just because there isn't much front and center. Max going into mounts, looking for the back. Gets himself into the arm triangle. Possibly. He's got... Oh, bud. Going the wrong way, man. He had a rear naked strangle grip, which is extremely deep. It's not the wrong grip to use. You just don't see it very much. But he wants to go off the other side. Wants to hang off the other side of that strangle. What's up, Andrew? David just stands up. Oh, it's a nice shot. Max is really quick on his shots, and his arms are so damn long. He gets there, he just can't quite move David. He's got to really shoot through David if he's going to stay up the center. Another reason why I favor the sweep single, where you can just cut your angle and not worry about having to blitz through the guy. David on. That was a nice try. He had a front headlock. I like that idea for the setup though. Like chase it down. He's got Max moving backwards. He lets go of the head. Max pops up and David immediately lowers his level. Max was just quick enough on a sprawl. That's what, like, we do these takedowns at the beginning of class. We drill our takedowns and stuff, and it's great. That was not great. I'm just gonna point this out. Quick side thought: if you're gonna pull your opponent back, don't pull them over to the side. Don't pull your opponent over their knees, or I should say your partner in the training room. Don't do that. They could hurt their knees or their ankles. Go to the side with them. Don't let them hyperextend their knees and pop anything. I hope you can see why that's uncomfortable. If you're in a competition, go ahead and do it. Just not against your training partners. Anyway, we set up these takedowns we drill these takedowns, but we spend a little bit of time on setups. They're normally, it's like here's your setup and then here's your takedown. But in a live situation, it's not always going to be like that, and your setup can be something as simple as like what we saw David do: just hang on the head, and then drop and shoot as they pop up, right? That's a very classic shot, or a very classic setup for a double leg or a single leg. Another one I love, and I remember the first time it got hit on me very cleanly, is you approach somebody and you just kind of flick your hands up at their face. As you come up, you go like you're gonna reach for their head, and then you quickly drop and shoot your shot. And there's something about having two hands coming towards your head for like a collar tie that gets your hands up. You react like you want to block their collar tie, and when you bring your hands up, they take their shot and you get blast doubled, or whatever. So your setup can be extremely simple. It doesn't need to be some like highly technical series of feints or anything like that. All right, I believe this is our last round. So got Andrew with Luke. Riding real high here. Kind of in a good float pass position. Luke looking for that knee knot. Oh, calf slice knee knot thing. Andrew's like, cool story, bro. Luke did this to me earlier and I heel hooked him. Or he tried to do it to me and I heel hooked him. I want to look at this. Luke Abel felt like a sick reverse. Okay, we'll look for it. So yeah, here's Andrew. If this could have happened, it would have been sweet. But if you got your left leg behind Luke's leg here, I know it's probably a little difficult the way Luke is using that real sticky leg hook on you. But you know, from there, you would have access to getting a heel hook. I'm convinced, and I don't know if Luke's still in chat. I know he was on earlier. Yeah, I think he's still watching. Luke, you've been using this move a lot lately, and to good effect. Like, I think it works really well. Like here, where you knock Andrew backwards. You've gotten me like put down with this move a number of times. Today, I realized the vulnerability that you have for the outside heel hook there. And I know it was like, oh, I just hit that today. Like, what do I know? But that's something I would be careful with as you're doing that. Yeah, exactly. It is risky. And like we've seen that in some high level competitions. Like I referenced it a few weeks ago and I still can't remember, but I think it was Dante Leone and like one of the Tackett brothers or something like that. This move popped up and I think Dante tapped to it or something. I'd be curious to go back and watch that and see if the heel hook vulnerability was there too. But yeah, that was my only thought on it, just because you have done that a lot to me lately. So I was surprised to see that pop up as an option for me to like counter with a submission. There we go. Max shooting I think a more proper John Smith low single here. He almost went head outside. He's got his head like right up the middle. Again, I think he did this to Ben earlier, but he shoots his head to the inside at the knee. Let's see if he pressures through. Yeah, he gets Ben's knee broken down. Very nice. And then now I'd like to see him hop to the side and run Ben down on Ben's right side. Okay, getting there. Kind of 4 pointing up for Max. Oh, almost hits a good sit through. That was interesting. It's like he wasn't even using his hands there as a base at all. Where are his hands? Okay, so he reaches on the leg and he's fighting the grip here as he sits through. Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to kick that right leg through. I almost had that. It was a nice thought. It was the right thought. Got Mitchell going to David's back here. Got the back exposure with the leg up and over. See if he could settle into the chair sit. Ben setting up a close guard. Not a bad idea with how tenacious Max has been. Sometimes you just got to slow it down. Luke trying to get past that bottom knee from Andrew. Andrew doing a good job keeping the guard in. Andrew looks to sit up, but Max on a simple guard pass there. Just a little throw by with the legs. Nice change of direction to settle in. He's got the hook in early, which is helpful. Going for the power half. Ben just decides to give him the roll. David looking for the guard pass on Mitchell. Settles into top half guard. Mitchell works the butterfly half. You know, Mitchell hit a really nice Uchimata on me today that we went over, I think, a week ago. And I didn't go over with it, but then he chased me down and went to a front headlock. And it was exactly what we talked about last week, or whenever it was. And I was very, very proud of him. Love it. All right. Luke using a chair sit. So knee slides up the back. Big pull and the turn. You got a twister on him? On today? Like, or on this footage? And since I think we talked about this a little bit this week. I think we did like a chair sit. Since we're going into back week and you kind of set this up for mount, I think it meshed with the lesson. But notice how Luke does it, because I had to correct a few guys on this. He gets the knee up the back, he sits flat, and then he turns that way. He's not just falling to this side or falling straight to his back. He sits like you're sitting in a chair. That's why we call it the chair sit back take. And then he falls across to the other side and pulls Andrew into guard or into the rear mount. And that's why he's well aligned to start attacking on the neck. If you don't do that, you don't get well aligned and you lose the whole move. Your opponent can twist out pretty easily. I need to go find that twister because I want to see that. Then showed it to Max because wrist locks aren't evil enough. Andrew goes to set up the knee bar. And then they roll through into a 50-50. Was that the reversal or the position change you were talking about, Andrew? It's a pretty slick little roll. Luke trying to chase down the inside heel hook here right at the end. Let's go back. So let's look at this. So you get free. Looking to get the leg extended. Nice grab at the heel. You could tell as soon as you make your way to the end of the lever. Here you're at the ankle. 2-on-1. Not getting the leg extended. You go down to the heel. It starts to open up a lot more easily. So you pull the leg into 50-50. Either you pull it there or Luke adjusts to it and puts it there. And then now I wish I could see a little bit better. It looks like you're in like an outside ashi. Yeah, like you're in 50-50. You're just like up on your back. This roll through from Luke is kind of interesting. I don't know if I've seen someone roll in 50-50 like this. The downside to this is Luke, in doing that, kind of hides your heel. Like it's going to be hard for him to dig that heel out until he sits you back to your butt. Now, yeah. Now Luke's getting around the outside. He had me in an inside heel hook. I rolled to connect my feet. Okay. Okay, that's what it was. I don't know if I could see that. Okay, so he had heal exposure here then. So you controlling the arm. Must have been right there he gets the heal. Right as you're starting to roll. There he gets it. Wait a minute, because your leg pops out kind of unscathed. So right there, your leg's safe. So it must have happened right before that. And then you roll through to keep it safe. It gets you back to triangling your leg. So interesting. That was cool. 50-50 does suck. I don't like those odds. I like better odds. All right. I just want to go back and find Ronnie and Mitchell, because who doesn't want to see Ronnie Twister Mitchell? It's not this round. Unless we didn't capture it, Ronnie, because like I said earlier, I don't think we got all the rounds from yesterday. You do something to Mitchell here, but okay, so you and him are going here. You're on his back. I mean, not quite a twister. Not really a twister if that's what it was, but that did look like you were probably putting some nice spinal pressure on him from that move. Makings of a twister, though. Let's go further. Do you get it again? No. Okay. Fun. All right. Awesome. Good stuff. Yeah. Next time we'll get all Saturday, but good rounds regardless. That was a good 5 or 6 rounds. So great stuff. Great work from Max. Max was looking tireless. Love to see it. It's close enough. It was close enough. He tapped, right? That's all that matters. Great stuff today at class. Everybody who showed up as well. I know we have some competitions coming up in the next couple of months. There's a good fight, which is submission only, out in Boone in March. I need to write this down, I believe. Sweet dreams to you too, baby. And then I think there's a new breed, which I'm still pretty sour on new breed. I think they were terrible reffing and whatever at the last one. But if you guys want to do it, we can do it. But I'm not a new breed fan right now. And then yeah, we're getting Luke ready to murder at ADCC in May at the ADCC Open in Atlanta. So everybody put your game face on for Coach Luke. What else? I think that's about it. We can keep it there. Follow if you're lurking. Subscribe if you're liking. And subscribe at YouTube as well. It's the best way to support the stream. Yeah. Thank you, Sean. Well, to Luke, of course, not to me. I'm not competing. And yeah, we'll probably have footage of that. Well, we'll definitely have footage of that when it happens. We always like to review that stuff. So, what else? Oh yeah, and I don't say this enough, but you know, Sean or anybody else who has footage that they would like reviewed, we are always happy to do that. We haven't done any like non-student footage review in a while. We've done it in the past when, you know, the rare few take us up on it, but that option's always out there. We don't just do it for our students. It's just easiest to get that. Yeah, it was Mango back in the day. So yeah, if you Sean, if you're ever interested, or anybody else lurking in the chat wants to get some tips, pointers, criticisms, get made fun of, make fun of us back on your rolling, then you let us know. Shoot us a link to a YouTube video or comp footage or whatever. We're always happy to go over stuff with any of our viewers. So anyway, Super Bowl wipeout. I mean, I've gone over my very old competition footage when I was absolute trash. So, my stuff's out there too. But seriously, man, I mean, or you know, if you take some footage at a recent open mat or something, or you're working on something and you want to see what we think about it, or if we could give you any pointers, we're always happy to do that. It's our way to support you guys and pay you back for supporting us. So keep that in mind. What else? I think that's about it. We're moving on to rear mount, so be ready for some strangles and twisters and banana splits and calf slicers and all that fun stuff coming in the next 2 weeks, followed by legs. Oh, we're at 300 followers now. I just noticed that, so that's cool. Thank you everybody for that. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Go trim your nails, do your laundry, don't be stinky, and I'll see you back on the mats. Take it easy, guys.